Thank you very much, Peter. We move on to our next story. In a related development, a deadly strike occurred in Gaza today. Rescuers say at least 25 people have been killed in Israeli strikes, including 12 who died when a shelter for displaced families was hit. The strike reportedly targeted the Mustafa Hafez school in the Al-Rimal neighborhood of western Gaza City. The school was sheltering civilians, many of whom were women and children who had fled previous fighting. In total, according to reports, 25 people were killed across multiple strikes, with dozens more injured. The Israeli military says it is aware of the reports and is looking into the incident. As the conflict continues, international concern is mounting over the rising civilian death toll and the safety designated of shelters. Peter, this isn't the first incident like this that has happened during the war. We've seen multiple schools, multiple civilian infrastructure hit, like hospitals. How do Israel justify the strikes that end up hitting shelters for displaced families? Is enough being done to avoid civilian deaths? We are running those visuals right now of the children who have reportedly been picked up from this wreckage. We've also seen visuals of that displacement shelter that has been destroyed and hit, where civilians were reportedly sheltering. What are your views on this, Peter?
Well, Thomas, if in fact this has happened, then it's just an unforgivable event and should be investigated. Before coming on to do this interview, I phoned up my sources in Israel, and I had the latest online output from various Israeli newspapers, including the Jerusalem Post, I-24 News, and even Haaretz. Haaretz, as we know, is a very anti-Netanyahu mouthpiece. Now, leading up to what you've just told me, that you've been seeing images, I could find no confirmation from Israel that the Israeli military had in fact undertaken this atrocity, if that's what's happened. If it is, it is clearly outrageous. But normally, when such an area is targeted, the Israeli intelligence is quite precise normally, Thomas, and they would be targeting Hamas operatives or someone in the Hamas high command. If in fact civilians have been targeted, and that can be verified, and only the hours ahead will show us that, then obviously it is an outrage and will have to be investigated, as I'm sure it would be. I think also, Thomas, when I was on the programme last, I did mention to you, I said to you, do you know, Thomas, in the days ahead, what we're going to see is a continuation of news outflow whereby we will be seeing the Hamas Ministry of Health, or the Gaza Health Ministry, whatever they call themselves, come out virtually on a daily basis accusing Israel of attacks where mainly women and children have been killed. Now, of course, if this happens to be truthful, as I said before, it's outrageous and will need to be investigated. But please don't be surprised if in the days ahead we're going to see a continuation of this narrative, much of which is false. So, as I said,
Peter, the reason why that we can't have these numbers fact-checked by independent sources is because Israel won't let any independent fact-checkers in to the Gaza Strip. That is why I just want to reiterate to our viewers why we get these numbers from the Gaza Health Ministry, which we do cite every single time. Peter, we have to move on to our next story, which comes at